Hi, I'm Nate with Archery Pro Shop and Range here in Phillipsburg, PA, and today is an exciting day as we have the brand new launch of the Mathews Lift, new for 2024. So Mathews has built off their popular Phase 4 platform with a 29 or 29.5 inch bow as well as the 33 inch bow, and they've definitely made these snappier. There's definitely a lot more speed and a little bit more aggressiveness in the draw cycle than there was on previous switch weight mod cams. So we've gone away from the full cross center cam that we've seen for many years, the Vertex, the Traverse, the V3, the V3X, and the Phase 4. Now we've gone with a little bit more of an aggressive cam style. So first things first, we'll start there and then we'll talk about more specs on the bow. The cam, as you can see, is definitely have a more flatter spot to it, and through shooting it and through getting chrono numbers, it's definitely snappier on both the 29.5, which is right here, and the 33 on the table. Still has a lot of popular things that we saw on the Phase 4. We still have the slanted angle down roller guard. We still have the traditional engaged grip. We still have the same kind of limb pocket system. It is shorter though, but you still have to run the Mathews limb legs. You can't get away with running like a Pine Ridge quick stand or something like that. We still have, of course, all the integrated options in the sight and in the stabilizer system. And of course, you can run standard bolt-on sights and stabilizers as well. We have a little bit of a shorter limb profile, still very pass parallel, which has been a Mathews staple for several years now. We still have the 5-piece string set with the interior yokes. The cam is a switch weight mod, but it is not the switch weight mods that we have seen in the past. It's a totally new mod. They are not retrofittable with each other, and that is to allow for more speed on this bow. When I first pulled this out of the box, the first thing that I kind of noticed and went with is that it has a big flat spot at the beginning of the module, which looks a lot like the 75-pound mods that Mathews has made in the past for their V3X and the Phase 4. That allows that extra weight, but in this case, it allows extra speed because they're offering these now in 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, and 80-pound modules now. I think it's the first time we've seen 80-pound modules in quite some time from Mathews. So definitely a more aggressive module. It still offers 80 or 85% let off and still has the peak weight there. So you don't have to wind the limbs in and out. You just adjust your module, buy a new module, swap one out, you get a new draw length, let off, and draw weight. Mathews is offering a new thing, which they did not ship to us dealers, so I haven't gotten to play with it yet, in their shot sense, which is something that goes in the grip, measures vibration or torque or something. More to come on that in the future. Like I said, this is a 29.5. We'll pull up the 33-inch model as well. The 29.5 has a 6-inch brace height. The 33 has a 6.5. So the 6.5, this platform is nearly identical outside of the adjustments we've already talked about to the Phase 4 33. 6.5-inch brace height. This one is faster, up in the 340s of IBO, up to 343 feet a second, and the numbers reflect that when we shoot it through the chrono, and I'll post some of those up on the screen as I talk through it. Between the two, I'm more partial to the 33 just because I have a longer draw length, about 31 inches. Balance on both is actually really solid. The Phase 4 and the V3X 33 had really good balance like this. That's just held there with my thumb. The 29 is not as perfect. It's still a little bit on the top heavier side. As you see, it wants to tip down forward just a touch, which has been prototypical of Mathews, the shorter ones in the past. Both are still a very stable shooting platform, both incredibly dead in the hand, very quiet, just like we saw with the Phase 4 with the rubber interrolled in the limbs, and then of course the risers, all of the Swiss cheesing that they've done to really get it to be very stiff and as vibration free as possible. All right, so we're down here, we have the kids with us, pardon the echo, but we're gonna shoot the 33 here. I just left this stock right out of the factory at 2970. We're gonna shoot a bunch of different arrows here. Got my cheat sheet. Gold tip 22 is 382 grains. .305. That's pretty daggone quick. That's fast. 305. The next arrow up is a regular gold tip hunter. This is 400 spine, or 340 spine. It's about 400 grains, just a touch under. 300. It's pretty daggum snappy. Here we have a gold tip kinetic chaos. We're looking at 448 grains, so very typical arrow weight for a bow at 2970. 288. So that's pretty snappy. Let's get some behemoths through here. Here we have a big fat aluminum. 571. $252, and then 711 grains. Doesn't even really fit in the whisker biscuit, but we'll get her downrange anyway. $227. It's not bad for a 700 grain arrow there. So that's pretty quick, and particularly in that welterweight arrow speed that you would typically find for a hunting setup, you know, in that 400 to 450. That's pretty quick. Let's break out the 29.5. Okay. All right, so here we are with the 29.5. This is set to 28 inches and 70 pounds right out of the factory. Same arrow subset. It's gold tip 22 at 382 grains. .302, it's not too bad. Being an inch shorter on the draw length there compared to the 33. Brace height on this though is shorter, 6 inches to 6.5. Next arrow we got is 400. $297, so not a whole lot of jump there in that first 18 grains. Here's that Kinetic Chaos, it's pretty normal hunting arrow weight in that 448 range. $280, so yeah, so right up there on par with where we would expect to see a relatively quicker speed bow, hunting bow, with that arrow weight. So that's pretty solid. The aluminum here is, what did I say, 571. Lost deflection there, 248, that's pretty good. And then the behemoth here at 711. $225. So actually, ironically, it keeps up with the 33 at being an inch longer in draw length there, 29.70 instead of 28.70, because if I remember, the 711 was 227. So actually, this bow has maintained, the shorter one, so far, this according to our chrono, has maintained efficiency even better than the 33 has. So both are still very nice shooting platforms. Definitely that draw cycle is a little bit on the stiffer side. Definitely getting more speed out of these than we did in the Phase 4 or the V3X before it. Mass weight is fantastic. This bow in particular, you're a shorter draw guy, you want to push a little bit more speed out of it, you could probably do even 60 or 65 pounds and get a smoother draw cycle, but still get even quicker speeds out of it than your older setup. So yeah, let's take it back upstairs and let's look at it further. So we shot these bows through the chrono exactly how they came from the factory, and probably where most guys are going to fall when they go to shoot these bows. They're 70 pounds. The 33 here is 29 inches, so I'm a 31, so it's gonna look a little short of me here, but I still would like to draw it for you. You can definitely get a feel of the draw cycle. It is very stiff. Like that first portion there definitely is not letting you off early anytime soon. That's where you're gonna get that speed. So it's definitely very stiff, and then it's peaking right here. Here's your valley coming up, and there it goes. It's 85% on the let off, but I can tell you that it does not take a whole lot and it wants to go. Which again, that's where you're gonna get your speed. So if you're traditionally an 80% shooter, which I usually am, even with the hunting bow, you're definitely gonna wanna try out the 85% mod first, because I think the 80 might even be a shorter valley than you want. We'll go ahead and shoot it here. Even though we're in the very echoey shop, we can kind of hear how it sounds. Incredibly quiet. That's a brand new ballistic 450 target from Big Shot over there, and the noise comes from the arrow hitting the bag, not from the bow itself. There's not even a puff of vibration to it, which we noticed on the Phase 4 last year, so it's good that they kept that over on this bow. Just very stable platform, that super long riser. I think the riser is to the limbs, if not almost beyond the limbs at brace, so they have really made this 33 feel like a 35, 36 inch bow. Yeah, there's nothing to it. So I'm a real big fan of the 33 platform. I think for anybody that's 29 to 31 inches of draw, this is going to really be the bread and butter. But of course, it will go down if you just want a longer platform or a crossover bow. One thing I forgot to mention, this is in the new earth color. Mathews has launched a whole bunch of new colors for this year. They brought in moss oak bottom end as a camo option, and then they're running a couple fades. So they're running a fade where it starts out as earth and goes to black. They start off with their ambush green that they've used in the past and goes to black, or their granite and it goes to black. So we'll take a real quick peek at the 29.5. So obviously very familiar with the Phase 4 33 or 29 from last year. Definitely going to have, again, that stiffer draw cycle. I feel it's a little bit stiffer on the 29.5 than it is on the 33, just based on the axle to axle. This is a 28-inch draw, and I mean, in my opinion, you really feel it the entire way through the draw cycle. But again, you're going to get speed out of it. We noticed on the chrono that this bow actually maintained efficiency just as well as the 33, if not better, at an inch shorter draw length. So it was actually really impressive that it was able to maintain those speeds. The hunting weight arrows are just cooking out of these bows. Anything in that 4 to 450, 460 range where most guys hunt with, just absolutely cooking. Yeah, again, the same deal as with the 33. I mean, just a puff of vibration there as it goes off, and the noise comes from this arrow hitting this target about, 6 feet away from me here. Like I said, the draw cycle is definitely stiffer, but it has to be, right? That's where you're talking 348 feet a second, 6-inch brace height. But it feels really, really good. If you're a shorter draw guy and you want to pick up as much speed as possible out of a bow that's this quiet and this smooth, or at least dead in the hand in terms of vibration, you're not gonna be able to go wrong with this one. Price point wise on both these bows, so you're talking a $12.29 street price on the 29.5 and a $13.29 street price on the 33. So definitely up there with everybody else in terms of their flagship pricing. But of course, it's a Mathews, and it's a really well-built bow. They don't design something and polish something until they feel like it's ready to come to market, and they've definitely done that with both of these. So there's your initial overview and review of the new lift in the 33 and the 29.5-inch model. If you're in central Pennsylvania and you want to come check it out for yourself, we have all these bows as well as a 29.5 in mossy oak bottomland. You can come check out what that pattern looks like on their bows. You can always check us out on Google for our hours. You can always reach out to us at averagejackarchery@gmail.com, or head over to our website, averagejackarchery.com, and we'll be happy to help you out with any of your Mathews questions or any bow or accessory that we sell in our store. Hope you're able to get outside, enjoy the sport of archery hunting if you so choose. Definitely enjoy God's beautiful creation, and we'll get to see you next time.